Hi, Kris Gethin here, and welcome to the Beginner Nutrition Overview video. When it comes to approaching food, don't just think that you can eat anything that you want or be in a calorie surplus just to put on weight or eat as little as possible to lose weight. You're going to have a specific program, whether you're trying to burn fat or build muscle, where you'll be eating 6 meals throughout the day. Now, the calories that you'll be eating from the protein and carbohydrates will be quality calories, meaning it's going to be coming from clean food. Now, the foods that you will be eating are going to be mainly protein-based with complex carbohydrates and fibrous carbohydrates. What I mean by that is when it comes to protein, we're talking about like your poultry or your fish or your egg whites, maybe some red meat. But if you're a vegetarian, maybe some soy, tofu, some Greek yogurt and egg whites and whey protein. When it comes to your carbohydrates, and when I say complex carbs, it means things along the line of like sweet potatoes, yams, oatmeal, quinoa, and oats. And when I say fibrous carbs, I mean like your vegetables, such as your leafy greens, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your cabbage, your spinach, and you could throw in some other things as well, like your peppers and mushrooms and tomatoes and salad. So the food sources I have briefly mentioned in regards to your protein and your carbohydrates. When it comes to your fats, I don't want you taking too much external fat. I want you just to concentrate on your naturally occurring. So eating steak once a day is fine, and you'll get plenty of fat through there, along with your supplementation of, say, omega oils or EPAs. So if you're a vegetarian, you're going to be a little bit lower on the fat because you wouldn't be having, say, salmon or red meat. So there's some examples of the fats right below this video, so make sure that you do read this page before moving on. On this program, the main beverages that I like to recommend and drink myself is just water. I add HydroCharge to this along with some other supplements, but HydroCharge I find is the perfect hydration drink to make sure that you're getting your antioxidants, and it tastes great, so it allows you and encourages you to drink more. When it comes to things like coffee and tea, everything in moderation. So with coffee, I do recommend that you have decaffeinated coffee. I don't want you having too much caffeine, specifically a synthetic caffeine. That's why I much prefer that you have the pure caffeine or organic caffeine that is in pre-caged and in-caged. When it comes to sodas and soft drinks, I want you to kind of stay away from them. And there will be an episode where we do go to the supermarket and I'll help you read labels and understand what drinks that you should and shouldn't be drinking, so make sure that you look out for that video. When it comes to hydration, I do recommend, dependent on the climate that you live in, that you have anywhere between, say, 3 liters up to like a gallon a day. Obviously, dependent on the size of your body will be dependent on how much that you drink as well. Just remember to stay hydrated as much as possible and don't wait until you're thirsty for that to be a signal for you to drink. Now, people always ask, is there a cheat day? Is there a cheat meal on this program? No, I don't recommend cheat meals or cheat days. And you're just a beginner, you're just starting out. You shouldn't even be considering them right now. All I want you to do is follow the program that I've laid out specifically, and for you to ingest and digest clean calories. There's going to be times where you cannot eat a meal, or I don't recommend that you eat a meal. Like straight after your workout, for instance, you'll be having a protein shake to ensure that you have a fast digestion of proteins. However, protein is important to this meal plan because when you're going to the gym, you're going to be breaking down a lot of muscle tissue, and you are what you eat. So if you're having a certain amount of protein based on your lean body mass, it's going to be perfect to enhance your goals. So the amount of protein that you will be eating is going to be about 1.05 grams per pound of your lean body mass. When it comes to your carbohydrates, it's going to be 0.88 per pound of your lean body mass. So to work out your lean body mass over your overall body mass, for instance, you're going to have your body fat percentage taken. Maybe go to a local gym or your fitness professional, have your body fat percentage taken, and let's say, for example, you're a 200-pound male, and say you're 10% body fat, so 20 pounds of that will be fat. So your lean body mass will be 180 pounds. And that's what you're going to base the amount of your protein and your carbohydrates in with every meal and throughout the day. So what really pisses me off a lot of the time when it comes to programs that people start on, whether they're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, is that they think they can dirty bulk. They can eat whatever they want as long as they get the calories in. Now that doesn't make logical sense. You're supposed to be improving your health, and that's why I recommend that you eat quality calories. Not only that, I want you to see the muscle that you're trying to build underneath this body fat here. We don't want to be adding even more insulation so our abs always remain too shy to come out and expose themselves. And when it comes to weight loss, so many times I've heard of people saying, God, I can't get rid of this body fat even though I'm only eating 2 meals a day. Well, that's the main problem. Food has a thermogenic effect. Think of it as wood on the fire. So the more quality wood that you put on the fire in little small dosages throughout the day, the more that fat burning flame will fire 24/7. So that's why I recommend as soon as you wake up, that's when you have your first meal. And just before you go to bed is when you have your last meal, because I'm trying to shorten that fast period of when you go to sleep as much as possible so we can keep thermogenesis happening within our body all the time. And another reason why I recommend the meal frequency is that our body can only absorb so much protein and carbohydrates per sitting. It puts a lot of strain and stress and inflammation on the gut when you overload it with big globules of food. So we have little amounts. And another reason why I like meal frequency is to allow the blood sugar levels to stay level throughout the day. If you have a big spike or a big meal, then you give it an opportunity to fall down. And then guess what? You'll have a craving for something sugary to bring that food and insulin level back up. So we need to have a steady flow of food being fed into the system all day. So your approach to nutrition should be the same as training. However, you're going to be eating a lot more than you are training, but it does require the same amount of focus, making sure that you have clean meals with you every time. You do not leave the home without your meals. You are mentally prepared for anything that should come up, such as a delay in traffic, social gatherings, delays at the airport, work schedules, family commitments, whatever it may be. Make sure that you are prepared for anything that may come up, or you're going to be prepared to fail. Now, food preparation is going to be a #1 pivotal point in your success on this program. You have to make sure that you do go shopping on a full stomach. Otherwise, you may grab something off the supermarket shelf just to feed you through those supermarket aisles until you get home that isn't on this program. Make sure that you're prepared. Have your Tupperware containers, have your ice blocks, have your Ziploc bags, your foil, your cool bags, everything that you need to allow you to make this program that much easier. Your cupboards should be filled with only the foods that are recommended on this program. There will be times that you may feel a little bit down or a little bit emotional, and you'll reach for those cookies if they're in that cupboard. However, if they're out of reach, they're out of sight, chances are you will not be reaching for them at all. When it comes to your food, obviously, a lot of it will be carried with you. Don't think that you cannot eat cold meals. 99% of the meals that I eat are cold because I'm not near a microwave, I'm not near a cooker, I'm not near my kitchen. A lot of the time I'm out, I could be filming one of these videos, I could be out on a business meeting, I could be traveling. So it doesn't matter, as long as your meals are cooked, you can eat them cold, it's okay. Don't worry about the luxuries, just consider your performance and the fuel in your body. We won't be counting calories on this program. However, we will be counting our protein and we will be counting our carbohydrates. Those are the only calculations that you're going to need. You won't need to count your calories because if your weight increases week by week, then obviously your lean body mass is going to change and the amount of protein and carbohydrates is going to change. So you need to make sure that you recalculate these changes as your body fat and body weight changes over the course of this program. I'm not really providing you with too many recipes or creative meal planning. However, in one of the episodes, I will take you into my kitchen where you can see some foods being created and how I cook in bulk. But when it comes to getting really creative, I'm no Gordon Ramsay. I just like to get my fuel in at certain times and making sure that I'm consistent with that. So that should be your main goal. When it comes to further recipes, there may be some that you may find online or in our Facebook group where you can ask those questions with other users following the same program as you. So that's everything for today's episode with this nutritional overview. So now you should have the basics before moving on. But remember, you have to watch every single one of the overview videos before starting day one. I've made this simple. I've taken out all the guesswork here because with simplicity equals consistency, and consistency equals results.